Okay, guys. All right. Hey, test 1 2. Whoa. Hello. Can you guys hear me? Dude, my mic just crapped out on me. Can you hear me, Britt?
Yeah, I hear you fine. You hear me?
Okay, dude, I don't know what is going on with OBS. There it is. We are here today. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Also, by the way, YouTube has like a glitch going on right now.
I don't hear you.
Oh, now you can't hear me? Oh, well. YouTube has a glitch going on right now where it says that nobody's watching the stream. I've checked a bunch of other people's streams, and it's not just me. But the NASDAQ is in correction territory. It is up today. It's at 23,450. We got a lot of stuff going on this week. We got Jerome Powell speaking at 10:30 this morning. We have payrolls on Friday. We have JOLTS tomorrow. We have more ADP stuff and more going out live this week. And yeah, markets are back up a little bit today. More stuff happened over the weekend. As you can see, it says we have 2 people watching the stream right now. That's obviously wrong because more people are communicating in the chat than that. And so there's some weird glitch today on streaming on YouTube for some reason. It says nobody is watching any stream today, basically. And yeah, just be careful. Today is day 31 of this conflict. The NASDAQ is officially in correction. The Dow now officially in correction. As of Friday's close here. As of Friday's close. And yeah. Markets are scared right now. Ground troops are being prepared to go. And I think some of them are already there. Let me check. Hey, Britt, can you hear me?
Now I can. I don't know what happened.
It's probably because I unplugged my mic because I thought it wasn't working. Man, everything's going on today. I wonder if it's AWS related, to be honest. But anyways, let's just talk about everything. So the Houthis did enter the war. 300 plus U.S. soldiers have been wounded since this thing started. The S&P is down around 9%. Here's the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ is still down over 10%, or at least it's close to that. The S&P is down about 9% where it's at now. The S&P hit 6360s yesterday after the... I was going to stream the Sunday Open. I decided not to. I thought the president was supposed to do a speech at 6:30. He didn't end up speaking here. But just to look at the percentages now, S&P has dropped from, where was it? It was at like slightly over 7,000. Yeah, 7,043 is where the S&P was. I'm trying to see how close the S&P is to correction territory. I know the Dow and the NASDAQ have technically entered correction territory. The S&P 7043 down to 660. Would be a 9.7% drop. So the S&P is very close to correction territory. It's not quite there yet, but it's close. S&P drops, today it could be an entering correction, and that would join the Dow and the NASDAQ, which are now officially in correction territory. The president also said this morning, talking about 10,000 more troops being sent. He said, quote, take the oil in Iran, seize Karg Island. If we look at oil this morning, oil opened up yesterday. NASDAQ, everything opened up down, but then we kind of got reversals here. So here was the Sunday open yesterday in futures with oil. We did open up and then kind of fill the gap. It wasn't that big of an exciting open. But we also just got the IRGC commander saying the IRGC will beat the enemies even more vicious than before, end quote. Yeah, IRGC commander. Let me add this thing so the chat can... There we go. That's better. Pop out the chat. Yeah, let me know. What's up, Check? What's up, Elated, Matthew, 45 or Yellow? Hello, Faye, Pawn, Secret, Straight Jacket, Leah, Colton, Jordan, Gamer, Brendan, Dave, Tink, Jen, Ben. That rhymed. Am, Jen, Horace, DX, Brian, Roman, Big Slum, Significant. What is this music? Yeah. Appreciate the love, guys. Welcome to the stream.
I'm
We
just
got
going to say
somebody.
a general good morning to everybody. I'm
Yeah,
not
just
naming
general.
everybody.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. What's up, Cato, Samuels, Julio, Central Scrutinizer? What's up, guys? Good morning. Jerome Powell speaks today, 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. We'll see how much he says about markets. We'll stream it, but we'll see how much he says about markets. We also had news just now that the Saudi Foreign Ministry says Iran's brazen behavior toward regional countries confirms the contribution of a hostile approach that cannot be justified and pushes the region toward more escalation, according to Al Jazeera. Okay, that song's a little bit too much for me right now. And but yeah, basically we had more escalation over the weekend. It wasn't as much as some previous weekends, but more escalation nonetheless. Markets are actually green though on the day. At least the oil chart is actually red. WTI crude closed Friday right here at 101.18. So you can see where we closed Friday at 101.18. We are now at 100.8. So a little bit lower than we were on Friday's close for oil. The S&P 500 again green up to 64.50s, rebounding a little bit this morning. We had some Trump quotes yesterday that might be moving things. Yesterday, Trump said some things. He said they've been holding direct and indirect talks with Iran, apparently. Now, Iran came out this morning and denied this. They said we've been holding indirect talks, no direct talks is what they said, but they did confirm they've been holding indirect talks with the U.S. I saw this earlier. Yeah, so an Iranian foreign ministry spokesperson said, and this came out about 4 a.m., an Iranian foreign ministry spokesperson says Iran has not had any direct negotiations with America. What has been discussed are the messages we receive through intermediaries that the U.S. wants to negotiate. So more denials here coming from them. And this is pretty standard playbook, I would say, with all this stuff going on, right? Like they're going to deny until we really get a deal done. And so that's what to expect here is they're not going to say anything that might help the U.S. And basically us saying that we're having direct talks, them saying they're having direct talks with us would help the U.S. It would stabilize oil to a certain extent and more. So they're going to deny that as much as they can, even if they're really going on. And that's the playbook historically that we see a lot.
What do you think the odds are they actually are having direct talks?
I would assume they are at least somewhat. Now the direct talks might basically be, one side telling the other side they're not going to work with each other. But I think we'll probably have right. But I think at the very least that's going on, and I think you could call that a direct talk, right? Like that's my guess here. Again, I'm just guessing, I'm speculating on it, but I think they're probably having very slight direct talks with each other.
You might
they're
say.
not. I don't know if they're necessarily super friendly, but yeah, I think that's probably what's going on.
Yeah, I could get behind that.
Yeah, I think that's probably what's going on. Look at Dow, guys. Whoa, Dow, NASDAQ, S&P just ripped. Look at the S&P. I don't know what just happened here. Let's see. Let's see.
It was live. Wow.
Yeah, something just happened. And we ripped it, then we retraced the whole thing. Here's the Dow. Dow went up to 45.9s here. Very interesting. What this was. Big upwick, retracement, back down. White House Press Secretary Leavitt is going to hold a press briefing at 1 o'clock Eastern time today. Let's see if we can find some breaking news. Look at the volume spike we just got.
Dang.
Yeah, interesting here. I don't know what this is. I'm looking at stocks. Maybe stocks moving it. Nvidia just ripped up. Okay, so U.S. President posts on Truth. This is a tweet. He said, U.S. is in serious discussions with a, quote, new and more reasonable regime to end our military operations in Iran. Great progress has been made, but if for any reason a deal is not shortly reached, which it probably will be, and if the Hormuz Strait is not immediately, quote unquote, open for business, we will conclude our lovely stay in Iran by obliterating all of their electrical generating plants, oil wells, Karg Island, and possibly all desalination plants, which we have purposely not yet touched. This will be in retribution for our soldiers and others. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Okay, so that is what happened. We had a tweet. At first, it sounded great. When I heard the first couple sentences, sounded great here in this tweet. You know, it's like, okay, you know, de-escalation. Oh, sorry, I bought my mic. De-escalation here. But as you keep on reading,
took a pretty hard left turn.
right, exactly. As you keep on reading it, it turned, yeah, you turned back the other way is what happened. And markets are kind of showing the same thing. Here's the Dow, right? So the Dow, when this tweet was first published, ended up going up at 45,900s. So it ended up reacting. I think everybody kind of had the same reaction here. Like, okay, you know, this is probably going to end soon. Everything's great. And then boom, turn the other way. So yeah, that's what we see here. Those algos are quick, right? I think they jumped on this move a little bit too early here on the upside right here. But again,
literally see the moment. Sorry.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. Go ahead. You go ahead.
I was gonna say you could literally see the moment that everybody read the last part of the tweet in the market.
Yeah, like here's the first part of it, and then here's the second part. You know, everybody was like, yeah, you know, and then, you know, basically right back down. And again, just to read this tweet, he posts on Truth. This was Truth Social tweet. I'll show you guys the tweet. And this is it right here. The U.S. is in serious discussion with a new and more reasonable regime to end our military operations in Iran. Great progress has been made, but if for any reason a deal is not shortly reached, which it probably will be, if the Hormuz Strait is not immediately open for business, we will conclude our lovely stay in Iran by obliterating all of their electrical generating plants, oil wells, Carg Island, which we have purposely not yet touched. This will be in retribution for our soldiers and other stuff. I'm kind of paraphrasing here because some of this stuff I don't, you know. Thank you for attention to the matter. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens here.
I want Shane Gillis to read that tweet, just personally.
Yeah, this is a new. Yeah, it took a U-turn. It did take a U-turn for sure. Yeah, I'm even getting like a market update. Market update on President's Truth post saw two-way action as initially saw upside in stocks and downside in oil before reversing and more here. So look, I see this post, and this is exactly right. I think most people interpret this the same, which is that it seemed the first 3-4 sentences seemed optimistic. And remember, today we have Powell speaking. Fed Chair Powell. He's not expected to put out any text, but they are going to be doing a Q&A and a moderated discussion at Harvard today. In his press conference on March 18th, I would say he was neutral to hawkish. His main concern was inflation rather than growth weakness. He didn't think we were super weak with growth, but you know, he did acknowledge some of that. He stressed the need to see further progress in goods disinflation. He said sticky non-housing services and made clear that if inflation does not resume in terms of progress, if inflation doesn't get better in terms of progress, cuts will not follow. So we'll see what he says today. He is not yet decided whether he's going to stay on as Fed governor. We also have Williams supposed to give remarks on economic outlook today in March. Williams said the current rate between 3.5 to 3.75 are appropriate, so they think it's around neutral. And yeah, we'll see what Big Papa Powell has to say today at 10:30. And no, we don't have 6 people here, guys. Just to clarify, if it even shows me in my
okay, yeah, one.
Yeah. No, it shows me in my back end. It doesn't show me how many people I have, but the views are counting at the very least, right? So this looks like it's just a glitch with how many people it says on the watch page. Okay. Yeah, the president did tweet on Truth. We already covered this. Again, he said very optimistic things in the first couple half. He said the United States is in serious discussions with a new and more reasonable regime to end the military operation in Iran. Great progress has been made, you know. But if for any reason a deal is not shortly reached, which it probably will be, and if the Hormuz Strait is not immediately open, we will conclude our stay by taking out their electrical generating plants, oil wells, Carg Island, and more. It'll be in retribution, he says. So, yeah, a little bit of both on that speech. Why the big wick? Because this big wick was because, again, algorithms and bots probably read the first half of this tweet, which was optimistic and, you know, serious discussions with the new regime to end the operations in Iran. But then it kind of turned the other way on the second half of that paragraph. So again, if you take it out of context, if you take it out of the everything, it seems good. Like, look, I can post the first sentence, and I see some I see some big news agencies actually doing this. Look, I just posted that, and this is good. This is good. If we're in serious discussions, like I said earlier, we've had confirmation on both sides that at least some discussions are had, whether direct or indirect. Now, Iran is denying that we've had direct discussions with them. They say it's only indirect through intermediaries. But I think the truth is probably, as I always say, somewhere in the middle. I think we're probably talking to them directly as well. I don't know if they're super friendly talks, but I think we are communicating with them and trying to get deals done directly, even if it's not the most harmonic thing, you know. Will today be red or green? Let's do a poll here right now. So let's do a poll. What do you guys think? Will today be red or green? With all the stuff going on, will we have a red or green day in equities? What the poll will ask here. All right, so there's the poll. The poll is now live. Vote. Make sure the poll is now working too. Okay, yeah. I'm showing 52% so far think red, 50% think green. Look at the votes switch back and forth. Yeah, Powell's supposed to speak at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today, 10:30. Oh. Yeah, it's not just me, it's every stream right now, Scotty. It's not just mine. I was joking with Britt before we started the stream this morning. I was like, hey, just to give you, so you understand, there's some type of weird glitch with YouTube. But when I first woke up this morning, and I looked at my watch page, it was like, nobody's waiting for you, John. And I was like, they don't love me anymore, man. I don't know what happened. You know, I don't know what happened over the weekend, but they're boycotting, you know.
Don't try to fool people, John. There really are only 7 people watching right now.
I know, I can feel it, man. You know, I can feel it. Yeah, we did get boots on the ground news. I think everybody already expected it, though. I really genuinely think everybody already expected it. I think we can look at market opens here. Look, here's the NASDAQ. NASDAQ is green on the day. It's up on the day. Here's where we closed at on Friday. So NASDAQ closed on Friday. Was it Friday? Yeah. So NASDAQ closed on Friday at like 23,250. We are now at 23,475. So we're green relative to Friday. I think at this point, most people are already expecting. And I was talking to somebody else about this, right? And I was asking them, I was like, hey, do you think this conflict is going to be extended a long time? And they were like, no, they think that we might invade Carg and like try to secure the strait and in certain ways around it, but that boots on the ground is going to be more limited than people expect, and it's not going to drag on that long, you know. I don't know if I agree with this person, but yeah.
Honestly, I was working all weekend. I missed the boots on the ground news. Can you fill me in?
Well, no, there's just rumblings of boots in the ground.
Oh, okay. I thought they actually put some boots on the ground.
Well, there's 10,000 more troops being sent, is what they're saying. And more, so it's looking like boots are going to be going on the ground. There's some obviously there already, but it's looking like we're going to be sending more.
Okay.
Yeah, a very strange thing happened twice over the weekend. On Friday, I met, my daughter's name is Maddie. On Friday, I was talking to somebody, and I met him, and his name was John, and his daughter's name was Maddie, And then again, yesterday, I met another guy who, his name was John, his son's name was Jack, real son's name was John, just like mine. And my name is John, and my son's name is Jack, but his real name is John. Very strange. Odd. Honestly, maybe we're in a simulation, but it happened twice in 2 days.
I was about to say we're officially in the Matrix.
Yeah, strange, just odd. I felt like I was in the multiverse for a little while. I was like, hey, but no. Markets are kind of slowing down here after that Trump tweet. Yeah, so just to put this into perspective, the U.S. has already had roughly 50,000 troops in the Middle East even before this conflict. Bases in Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait, United Arab Emirates, or about 3,500 additional soldiers arrived on March 27th on board the USS Tripoli on March 27th. They came from Japan mostly. They're the Marines permanently forward deployed expeditionary. We also had 2,200 plus Marines and some sailors. But will they be sent and actually try to seize Karg Island, which is a key Iranian oil export? It's what it's looking like, but we'll have to wait and see. It depends on if hopefully they get a deal done, but I don't know. There's no authorized ground troops technically, so that's what the markets are still waiting for. Yeah, so on says they are preparing a big deployment to Iraq. Hey, now it says we have 12 people here, guys. Hey.
And we're on fire now.
I know, dude. 200 votes, only 12 people, man. Yeah.
Hey, what do you think about the Army raising its enlistment age to 42? Do you think that's like a reflection of recruitment problems?
Oh, maybe. I think it just depends. It's probably, I mean, I don't know if there's any way else to explain that. It could be just better health along. The only other justification for raising that age would be if our health is getting better as we get older. You know, we're fit and able to do it at those later ages. But I would say it's probably what you said.
Yeah, I think so. Because honestly, based on like all the health studies and stuff, because I tend to read a lot of that kind of stuff, we're not getting healthier.
Right. Well,
I mean, we might live longer, but that doesn't necessarily mean we're healthier, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Quality of life isn't necessarily reflected by age.
Right. No, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Honestly, the market's still so slow right here, guys. Yeah, you're right.
What are gold and silver looking like today?
Yeah. So gold is up on the day. It's at 45.72. Silver is up on the day as well. It's back over 70s. It's at $71 an ounce. We can take a look at Nvidia. Nvidia's green. It's at 169. Apple technically green, although Apple's mostly flat. Meta is still green. It's at 530s, although Meta's down a lot over the last few weeks. Google or Alphabet is at 275s. Amazon's still over 200, but most Mag 7 stocks, I mean, with the correction we're going to be seeing right now, most Mag 7 stocks are going to be down over the past few weeks, although green today slightly. So we'll see what we get today, but most things are down. I wonder if I can look on the live section if I actually... Okay, yeah, so it says we have 800 people here. I can't tell, like, I have to check the concurrent viewers in the back end of it, but yeah, it says we got 800 plus people. And I appreciate 800 of you guys watching the stream, even though I can't really see all you guys are here. Thank you. Appreciate you guys. Where's my chat? Yeah, so Valar, it's not only 12 people, it's a glitch with YouTube. We have about 800 actually right now. You can look at the poll. The poll has hundreds of votes. There's some type of weird glitch. I think it's just for the watch page. So I think just on the watch page, it shows you that there's only, you know, a couple people here. It's just it's a glitch. It's not. But yeah, again, if you're just now joining us here, the president did just tweet. Here's the S&P 500. On the first half of the tweet, he said optimistic things, that we've had direct discussions and negotiations with Iran. He basically said we're in serious discussions with a, quote, new and more reasonable regime to end our military operation in Iran. Great progress has been made. But for any reason a deal is not shortly reached, which it probably will be, and if the Hormuz Strait is not immediately open for business, we will conclude our stay by taking out all of their electric generating plants, oil wells, Karg Island, and possibly all desalination plants, which we have purposely not yet touched. This will be in retribution for soldiers and more. Basically, I'm paraphrasing some of this as well, the second half especially. Why do you quote him when he always lies? Or always lies? Because his quotes are market moving, and my responsibility to you guys is to give you guys what could be moving the market right now. And so you could disagree with them. I'm not even saying I agree with them. Honestly, I think the reaction to this tweet are kind of funny. Because you can see the algorithms picked up the tweet, the first two sentences here, and we pushed up, in those first two sentences, and then they read the rest, and they came right back down. Look, you can see this candle didn't even close green after it pushed up so much. And so, right, we're just covering market news here. Yeah, but again, Caroline Levitt is going to be posting a White House press briefing at 1 o'clock Eastern time today. And we'll see what happens. Yeah, gold is green on the day. S&P green, NASDAQ green. Most things are actually green. Look at gold rip up, though. Actually, you're right. Look at gold up. Gold is now up to 45.98 right now, almost 4,600s for gold. And gold has been on a slump the last few days. Just higher interest rate sentiment. If we take a look at yields this morning, yields are up. They're not as high as they were last week, so yields are actually calmed down slightly, it looks like. Yeah, yields have calmed down slightly. Here's 10-year treasuries. And look at gold push. Gold is up to 4,600. Yields are slightly down. How dare you share news on a news sharing channel? I know, guys. I know. Hey, John, is ground troops baked in already, or would it affect markets? Honestly, I think a little bit of both here. I'm looking at Matthew's comment here. He says, are ground troops baked in already, or would it affect markets? Honestly, probably both. They're probably like somewhat baked in. I think markets kind of expect it now, but I still think when they announce official ground troops in Iran, we will see. So I think a little bit of both. I think they're baked in to a certain extent, not fully though. And so the announcement of them would still probably cause volatility and ops. And look at gold though, guys. Gold continuing higher here. And again, chat, do you guys agree with that? I think that's probably true. Somewhat baked in, not fully, is what I would say.
Basically, people are assuming, but hopeful.
Yeah, I did see the Iranian parliament speaker yesterday. So one of the funny things that happened is that the Iranian parliament speaker started giving out, I'm not going to say investment advice, but he started saying some stuff. Was this yesterday? Hold on, yeah. Hold on, let me find it. This was yesterday. I saw it when it happened. He basically said, do the opposite of what they say. If markets are down, buy. If markets are up, sell. Is basically what he said yesterday. I'm trying to find it, guys. I'm sorry. Here, let me here, look. All right, it's time to just use AI. Yeah, basically he gave us I think it was Warren Buffett that gave better to be fearful when others are greedy than when others are fearful. It was more phrased, and hold on, look at gold, guys. Gold just ripped up to 4,600. It was more phrased than like, don't trust what they're saying. Yeah, he said pre-market so-called news or truth is often just a setup for profit taking. Basically, it's a reverse indicator. Do the opposite. If they pump it, short it. If they dump it, go long. See something tomorrow, you know the drill. Iranian parliament speaker. This was his quotes. These were his quotes right here. Yeah, this is his quotes right here. At the bottom of the screen. So those were his quotes. And so yeah, interesting. Dow, NASDAQ officially in correction. S&P's pretty freaking close. It's like 9.7% at least from its lows, but it's not quite there yet. Gold pushing up. Silver following it. Silver's up some. Gold's up to 4,600. Yeah, we are. We are going up though today. Can we sue him if we lose money? I mean, you could. I don't know if it's gonna go well. I don't know if you're gonna be able to really. I don't know if you're gonna get follow through on that, but you could try.
It's not too bad of a precedent. It wouldn't work, I don't think.
Yeah, and we did get Saudi Arabia just condemning Iranian attacks on Kuwaiti military camp and power facilities. See when that was announced.
Iran's fired on 4 or 5 other Arabic countries, haven't they? In recent weeks.
I think so. Yeah, and we're getting news that Iraq's SOMO leader announced oil exports from Kirkuk have started again through the Iraq-Turkey pipeline to Cyan, according to state news. It says their SOMO is evaluating offers from local and international shipping companies to transport oil through southern borders, according to state news. President also said, again in his tweet, that he's going to destroy Iran's oil wells, Karg Island, without deal to immediately reopen the strait at CNBC. Top 3 financial advisors: John, the Iranian parliament member, and Burry. We should get us all on a call together. See how that goes. Oil dropping now too. Yeah, so look at oil here. Oil, you can see, did the same thing. So oil reacted optimistically by dropping down on the tweet, immediately got pushed back higher, and now it's sitting right at 100.82. Now remember, the previous closing price is right here. It's at 101.18 for WTI crude. So oil is at around where it closed on Friday. It wasn't a big gap up. It says there's only 9 people watching the stream. Yeah, there's a glitch on the front end of YouTube is what this looks like to me. This is with every major live stream right now. I can actually check the back end of it and see how many viewers we actually have. And we have currently about 960 people here. So you can kind of see the concurrent viewers. This is for today's stream right here. I can see it on the back end. But yeah, it's just some type of glitch. So yeah, we have about 9 right now. Nope. And we have Jerome Powell speaking today as well. Do we buy gold now? I'm not going to say to buy anything. I'm not really sure. It is pushing up. And gold, here's the thing. Okay, gold has slumped down for a lot of different reasons. Number one, yields are higher. So we have higher interest rate sentiment, which means interest rates and yields are bonds are paying out more in terms of their yields. And because of that higher interest rate sentiment, gold is getting a little affected by it, or at least it has been, because again, the more bonds are paying out, the less people that want to buy gold, because bonds are paying out guaranteed returns with higher yields, right? So less people are interested in buying gold when bond yields are up. And interest rate sentiment, like if it looks like we're going to have higher rates, yields kind of follow that sentiment. And so one of the things that's been affecting gold in all of this is because the conflict went on, raised the price of oil, higher inflation, because of the higher inflation potential from higher oil prices. Yields have gone up, higher interest rate sentiment. It looks like we're going to have less of a green light to cut interest rates because we have inflation risks now. And gold has been negatively affected by it. We've also been in the wake of a correction in the NASDAQ, in the Dow, as the official close on the Dow on Friday was in correction territory, and the S&P is very close. All of that stuff is making people nervous, and so gold has been getting hit because the more people that are underwater in some of their positions, they have to sell, and of course, there's liquidations. They have to sell some of their liquid assets to compensate for it, and gold is a liquid asset. So that's the logic of gold. But again, we have stabilized over the last weeks in gold. Here's a daily chart. Over the last week, I would say, in gold. Last 1, 2, 5, 6 days of gold have been better. Gold today, again, back up to $4,600. It's green with the rest of the market. Whether, again, I'm not an investment professional. I'm not liable if you lose money. Do not copy me. Half the time I have no idea what I'm talking about, and 70% of the time I'm wrong every time. With that said, long-term gold's still probably good. Short-term, I have no idea what it's gonna do. Long-term, it's probably going up long-term. Again, just looking at history. Doesn't mean it's going to. It could always crash. I mean, there's always a chance of that. But generally speaking, long-term, it's okay.
I'm still personally skittish at those prices. I would like to buy it, but that's just a little too much for me.
What, at $4,600 an ounce?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you got to think about the entire broad move over the last year. Like, here's gold over the last year. Gold 12 months ago was under $3,200 an ounce. Now it is at $4,600 an ounce. So even just on the percentage wise from now to then, it's up a lot. So.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm just like I said, I'm just still personally a little skittish.
Yeah, I get it. I like gold long term. Short term is like short term is risky, just because if the conflict drags on, inflation becomes more profound in terms of issues regarding the Fed, higher interest rate sentiment, less rate cuts, higher bond yields, more drops in the S&P and the NASDAQ. I think all of that stuff is not the best conditions for gold. But gold is also gold can do really well in uncertainty, and if the market starts to tank, people might hedge with gold too as well.
Okay, true.
Everybody will buy gold. They just don't know what price they're going to pay for it. Most people that will buy gold don't even know it yet. Don't forget, bro, it's almost the 1-year anniversary of Liberation Day. I called it Liberation Day, and they were like, "Oh, your brain." Like, dude, the whole market calls it that. Basically, during the April of last year, the president's tariffs kicked in, and the market dumped like 25%. It almost completely rebounded back up, but that's what happened. That's you can see it in the markets right here. Again, I'm not saying I agree with the tariffs or anything like that. I'm just talking about what really moved markets. So we look at the NASDAQ here. Here it is right here. Here's April. NASDAQ dropped from 20,000 at the time all the way down to 60,000. Pretty big percentage. I call it the April Fool's slump. Yeah, I mean, it was a volatile time. I remember streaming that press conference and watching the market fall. It was kind of scary. But we are here today, guys. We are here. And yeah. Time to buy or sell the NASDAQ. Let's take a look at our poll. NASDAQ's green on the day, surprisingly enough. NASDAQ up to 23,450. It's starting to come back down, but the volatility is not very high at all. Maybe we're waiting for, maybe we're waiting for Powell to speak. Powell does speak at 10:30 Eastern Standard Time today. We will be streaming that live as it happens, so be ready for that. But I don't know how much he's going to say about markets. We'll have to wait and see. We will have to wait and see. Also, guys, remember, if you want to help support the channel, check out Lucid. Great way to help support the channel. No PDT rule. They have direct to funded options, which are honestly really nice. Genuinely useful. You can use my coupon code BGT everywhere at all major prop firms for the max discount. If you want to check out Lucid, here's the link. Also, I'm trying to grow my Discord a little bit, guys, so join my Discord if you haven't already. What's the next narrative to buy? Last year it was quantum stocks. Quantum stocks have just not done well. A lot of these have given back 75% of their gains here. Rigetti at the peak of quantum hype, almost $60 a share. It's now at 13. So quantum stocks have just gotten hit. And quantum is essentially like a super computer that can process things simultaneously in what's called superposition. It allows most computers process things in order, and it seems simultaneous to us because it processes them quickly versus what we can really register. But what these quantum computers do is they have something called superposition that allows them to process things simultaneously, which gives them much more processing power, much more problem solving capabilities, and more. But they're really fragile, and so it looks like that'll be the future. But these things just got really, really hot really, really quickly. Getty, UBTS, and more have given back most of their gains. It looks like about 75% of their gains here. And they still might be the future. These stocks still might take off in the future, but as of now, it's really speculative. Yeah. So
you're saying it gives them true multitasking capability?
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
To Thanks for explaining that. I was going to ask what quantum was.
Yeah, like to put it simply. Yes, it's nuanced and
Oh, I know there's a lot more to it than that, and I'm not expecting you to go like in detail or anything. I was just
right. No, 100%. You guys still think quantum is a buy? Discord's nice. I've been trying to grow my Discord here. Again, join our Discord if you haven't yet. There's the link right there in chat. Nightbot just posted it.
So you're saying join the Discord?
Yeah, I'll pin it to the top of the message here, you guys. Look, I pinned it to the top. Join the Discord. It's completely free. Doesn't cost anything. I don't sell anything on, like I'm not selling like a. What a lot of people do is they pretend to be experts, and then they just use that to kind of sell some stuff. Everything's free. But again, Trump is signaling a potential Iran deal. I don't know if it's hard to trust what either side says at this point in time. And again, historically, both sides are given some truth in there. But we had some news earlier. Like one of the other big stories in stocks is like Google and Meta are facing a California jury ruling that holds them liable for social media addiction with $6 million in damages. The real issue with this is the precedent it sets. That's the real issue. It's the precedent. It's and we talked about this last week. I don't necessarily agree with this lawsuit. I think it's kind of silly. At a certain point, I think people have to be accountable for their own decisions and actions there, and I think this lawsuit's kind of ridiculous. But it is what it is. Yeah,
I agree with you. I think while some of those platforms have definitely been harmful, it just sets a bad precedent.
No, 100%. Absolutely agree. Bitcoin still needs to drop 20-30% before we find a bottom. Yeah, let's talk about Bitcoin here. Bitcoin, if we look at it, is at 67,000. Kind of unchanged from where it closed last week. Bitcoin up a little bit. It was at 60, I think, if I remember correctly. But it's going up. It's going down. See where it closes today, or it doesn't really close where it ends today at 67,000. It is green with everything else, though. Opened.
Can you still mine Bitcoin?
Yeah, you mine it. It's called proof of work. Is what it's called. So, like, proof of work means it's mineable cryptocurrency. It all has, but yeah, you can mine it.
Okay, I just didn't know if that was still a thing. Honestly,
it's less profitable now with the price going down, but it all has to do with energy prices, and sometimes energy prices follow it based off of everything.
Okay.
It's 64 yesterday. It sets a bad precedent that people can get addicted to something and then be sued for it. Especially in regards to social media. Like if somebody gets addicted to social media, that's their, again, number one, parents should be really the ones policing this.
Up to a certain age.
Right.
And I agree. Like I've said this before, and it's like blaming fast food for making you fat when all you had to do was stop going to the fast food restaurants.
Right. No. Yeah. 100%. Yes. So sorry guys, I'm kind of checking on some of this news. I see some people asking Amazon at least a 5-year hold. I like Amazon. I just think this conflict could influence things short term. But I like Amazon a lot, to be honest. I mean, there's some labeled society, but we don't have drugs for a reason. Yeah, but I think that's physical stuff. I think people can get addicted to like any, I can get addicted to whatever. At a certain point, it's not, yeah, probably too. It's a good conversation, but at the same time, it's also like, back to markets. U.S. war against Iran is exceeding $35 billion in just 30 days, apparently. The Iran war cost tracker says it's more than NASA's entire annual budget at 35 billion with a B in just 30 days for this conflict. NASDAQ is at 23,450s. Classic World of Warcraft. I'm addicted to this stream. I blame you. This is a good stream to do it. There's no better stream to be addicted to. $1 billion free lunch. So there's been airstrikes apparently in the Iranian capital of Tehran. And today we don't really have any we actually don't have any big economic data dropping live today. So not any big economic data dropping live. Let me make sure. But yeah, we got retail inventories. 9 o'clock. Powell speaks at 10:30. That's the biggest story of the day for sure, is Jerome Powell at 10:30. We're going to stream it all live here like we always do. The moderated...
Sorry.
I was going to say it's a moderated discussion at Harvard. And so it's going to be a Q&A thing. I'm not sure if it's going to be market move. But it's the first time Powell has really publicly spoken outside of an FOMC setting in at the very least 3 months, probably longer. I can't remember when the last actual Powell speech was outside of the FOMC. I know he posted like a video in January of this year. And those used to be some of my biggest streams, but Powell is just quiet now. Not really. He's getting charged. The Department of Justice going after him on the Fed building. So he's been much more reluctant to have public speeches. So this is really his first one in like months. So we'll see what he says today. But yeah, this is like his first one in months. So how is always market moving? Yeah, I mean, we're gonna stream it. We usually stream anytime he speaks. Yeah, like we're gonna stream it every time he speaks, regardless. But whether it moves markets is a different thing. I'm not sure. And look at, honestly, it's really not easy to trade. Like, look at the NASDAQ right now. NASDAQ is not doing anything. Since I started the stream, the NASDAQ has been in this range mostly. So, like, we are in a very tight, very neutral, very sideways range in the NASDAQ here. I don't know if the markets are waiting for Powell or if markets are just don't know what to do. But this is the price action we've seen since the market opened here, or since we started streaming. What do you guys think? Again, let me know if you're bull or bear. We can look at our poll. 51% say red, 49% say green. Dude, look at how split we are. This is at about 600 votes right now. Out of 600 votes, we are almost completely split down the middle here in terms of green versus red. 51% of you think we're going to be red today. The other 49% that voted on the poll think we're going to be green here. So
what do you think?
Huh?
So what do you think? For the day.
I think it depends on the open. I would say it looks like we could have a slight rebounding here, but it looks like we're on like a rebound day. But it depends on if somebody comes out from Iran and starts speaking about things, is what it really is, right? So right now we're green, we're up in markets on the day overall. You know, and this is after the NASDAQ, S&P, Dow opened red on Sunday. Oil opened elevated on Sunday. But we've seen to have some stabilization. You know, the president came out yesterday saying, you know, essentially that we had been having direct and indirect talks. Early this morning, there were news that we're having direct and indirect talks. But then again, on the other side of that, you know, the IRG or Iran basically came out and said that we had not been having direct talks and that we've been having indirect talks through intermediaries, but basically it hasn't been harmonic. And so that's where we are now. But it depends on if they say anything. Also, we did just get breaking news regarding Bitcoin and crypto that MicroStrategy, did not sell shares or purchase Bitcoin over the last week. The MicroStrategy did not buy any Bitcoin, which is kind of a first. It's the first time I've seen this in a while, where MicroStrategy did not buy Bitcoin, and SEC filing showed between March 23rd and March 29th. So they did not buy Bitcoin, apparently. We're going to trade live. There's just nothing to really trade right now. Tell me what there is to trade. Maybe gold? This is the market right now. So unless I'm going to buy the bottom and short the top, it doesn't really look good to trade here. I'm not one that is just going to trade just to give the stream something to talk about. You know. And so, we'll see, but not much going on. Nike does have earnings tomorrow. Let's see what Nike earnings look like tomorrow. I've seen strikes, but again, the war in Iran apparently cost $35 billion in just 30 days. We had German CPI come out 10 minutes ago. Yeah, I mean, we'll trade live. Again, I need some good stuff to trade, though. The only thing that maybe looks good to trade is gold, but I think it's still pretty unpredictable right now as well. Like, we went up to 4,600s, we fell back down to 4580s. Everything else is basically sideways right now. So I'm trying to just trade smart and be patient here. And we'll see what we get. We do have Jerome Powell later. Yeah, we do have Jerome Powell speaking later on today. See what it looks like. Maybe, will he be hawkish or dovish? That's the big question. Yeah, let's see where the VIX is at. The VIX currently is at 3050s. So the VIX is over 30 still. This is higher than it was last week when it was at about the 20s. But Friday it did push over 30s and it hasn't really been under it since on the. All right, we're at 23,460s on the NASDAQ here. A very slow range. He is always hawkish. Not always hawkish, I would say. I went all in on my savings on VIX 4 times calls this morning. Am I cooked? Well, let's talk about that trade. The VIX is going to, so you going long on the VIX basically means markets are going down and oil is going to push higher and the conflict is going to last a long time is essentially what that means. And then today we opened up green, kind of the opposite of your trade direction here. What do you guys think, chat? Is he cooked? Is what he's asking. Depends, guys. It really depends. I don't know. Markets are interpreting it. Cooked. Not cooked. Cooked. Yeah, he cooked. As a millennial, I'm trying to figure out the right context to use the term cooked. All right. I get it. It's the new slang. And I'm not cool. I can recognize that. All right. Listen, I'm hip, guys. You know.
Just saying that means you're not.
No. I think I understand it. Cooked is bad. If you're cooking, that's good, right?
Cooked as in done, I think,
right.
you know. So
right, yeah, I got it. Listen, I'm cool. You know, trust me. I've got
with it.
I've got a 16-year-old. Trust me. I'm up to date on these things, dude. I'm up to date.
Every time I talk to somebody like sufficiently younger than me, I just feel incredibly old. I don't understand like a quarter of what they say.
Yeah. Right? Did I get it right? I'm pretty sure I get it right. Cooked or cooking is always the question. We're down bad. You're dripping Riz right now? No cap, dude. You know? I'm trying. 8. Fars News says okay, wait. We just got a Fars News, which again, if you hear Fars News, understand they're connected to to Iran. So like they are kind of working with Iran a lot of the time. So Fars News says while Trump is talking about negotiations with Iranian officials, they have emphasized no negotiations have taken place with the U.S. and that there is no need for negotiations, but Trump is trying to show that Iran is looking for them. They added that some analysts believe that with this show, he is trying to show himself as the winner and is looking to end the war via telegram. And so, again, very expected comments from Iran here. They're basically saying no negotiations. Anything that is going to benefit the United States, meaning stabilize the price of oil, help the public sentiment of the U.S. and the U.S. president. Iran is, until things are at their peak in terms of deals getting done, they are never going to admit that anything like that is going on. Britt asked me earlier, he said, do you think we are having direct talks with them? And I said, probably to a certain extent, maybe not to the extent that the president is saying, but we're probably having some direct talks with them. I don't know if they're necessarily like super friendly, but we're having some negotiations with them. You know, again, how do we see this? Last week, they gave us their list of demands. Like, we want this, and this, right? So there's obviously communications going back and forth between them, but they, again, just in turn are going to deny. It's the playbook in most of these conflicts historically. This is what's happened, is that we don't really get harmony in what both of them are saying up until the very end. Even if talks were going on, even if we have negotiations with them, even if we have direct or indirect negotiations with them, they're gonna deny. You know, this is what to expect. And again, just to restate this, Fars News says that while Trump is talking about negotiations with Iranian officials, they have emphasized no negotiations have taken place with the United States and that there's no need for them, but the president is trying to show that Iran is looking for them. So yeah, so Iranian media saying that Trump is again making baseless claims about talks with Tehran. And we'll see what happens here. We have 13 minutes until 8:30. Yeah, so I see somebody talking about 20 ships just passed. I did see news that Iran allowed the passage of 20 Pakistani flagged oil tankers through the Strait of Hormuz. They said it was likely paid in Chinese yuan, part of real regional diplomacy, not politics. But again,
I was curious if they charged all of them a toll too.
Yeah, they do, 100%. They came out last week saying that. they were charging shit. One of the numbers that we heard was $2 for one of them, which in the grand scheme of things is probably pretty small. But yeah, happy Monday, guys. Maybe till the end of the year. How long do y'all think this conflict lasts? Big question here. How long does this conflict last? What do you guys think?
I guess between 1 to 2 months.
Yeah, we're on day 31 right now. 31.
I mean, 1 to 2 more.
Yeah. Yeah, we're at day 31 of this conflict as of now. Day 31 of this conflict. Who knows how long this conflict will continue? I'm seeing people in the chat mention a bunch of different things up until August, 4 weeks. I see 8 weeks here. 2 more weeks. Years, I see somebody say.
But I said 10 years. I hope not.
Yeah, 10 years will be chaos. Christmas time, it'll be years. I think it's over by the end of April. Hey, what's up, Piper? I see Army Piper here. Long time no see, friend. Hope you're doing good, bro. For the World Cup. I'm not a soccer guy. Okay, I'm not a soccer guy. I did see the Astros lost the opening game. I did see
soccer. Never watched it really.
Yeah, we're 2-2 in the series with the Angels. Soccer's okay. I watched what's the movie, or what's the show? Ted Lasso. Yeah, I watched Ted Lasso.
Yeah, Ted Lasso was great. It was fun.
Yeah, it was great.
Also had a lot of good touching life lessons in there. I think it was well balanced. But
right.
Yeah, even if you're not a soccer fan, and whether you like to play it or you like to watch it or you don't, you still you just got to recognize what a big deal it is for us to get the World Cup.
Right, 100%. Real quick, breaking news: U.S. Secretary of State Rubio says always prefer to settle matters through negotiations and diplomatic means, and must be prepared for the possibility of diplomacy failing with Iran. So. Yeah, I mean, markets are... NASDAQ is up. I don't know if it's up a lot. S&P 500 is up. Gold, up a little bit. Gold is moving a little bit more than others. Dow. Here's the Dow. But again, since that last tweet by the president here, markets are sideways. So, here is the market action since that last president right here. This is big. That is the price action right now. So... yeah, Jerome Powell does speak today. 10:30. Guys, 10:30 for Jerome Powell. Actually, let me get a timer up here. Watch his tie color today, yes sir. So Sam says, you might not like my answer, but I've done more research than you and my estimate is well informed. 5 to 10 years, like it or not. Maybe it's just confirmation bias on my end, Sam, but I hope not. I hope not. If it's 5 to 10 years, number one, the market will settle into it, and so it'll be less impactful than it is right now in the first 31 days. But number two, we're probably really obviously going to see interesting oil movement if it does last that long, of course. Again, I'm gonna say this just to clarify. If you're just tuning into the stream and you see only 14 people watching, obviously gauging by the chat, we have more than 14 people watching. Some type of weird glitch on YouTube's end today. So, wonder when they're gonna get that fixed.
Do you have a means of reporting it yourself? I mean, I'm sure other streamers are.
Of reporting what?
The glitched, like how many people are watching stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh, I mean, everybody kind of knows. This is every live stream right now. I looked at Yahoo Finance's stream this morning. It had 2 people there, so I was like, okay, I knew immediately. Okay, this is on their end. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
Immediately, I'm like, all right. Yeah, we'll see what happens here, guys. So we are in a rally in what a lot of people consider a bear market. So a rally in what a lot of people consider a bear market. It's been back and forth. Dow is down. Dow is officially entered correction territory as of Friday. So we did a poll here. Our poll currently asks red or green. We have 731 votes. So those 14 people, they're being active. But yeah, we have 731 votes. 51% think we're going to have a red day today in equities. 49% think we're going to have a green day in equities. We can see gold. Gold is up to almost 4,600s. Gold is being a little bit more volatile than other assets right now. But yeah. Okay, I see somebody say, I read somewhere that apparently according to a modern war rules, if it does not end by day 33, it'll go to day 90. If it does not end by day 90, it'll last years. Yeah, Powell's speech again going live at 10:30 today, guys. 10:30. Yeah. How are you guys doing today? Have you guys traded at all this morning? You guys traded at all today? I think it's kind of hard to trade, at least in the last hour, unless you're trading like maybe gold or something else. But have you guys traded today? Green or red in chat? Let me know if you're up or down today in chat right now. Any trades? No? Only silver? Nope. Yeah, I mean, silver's volatile as well. We don't have any 8:30 economic data as well. The big story is Powell. So, yeah, the big story. We'll see what happens. But get a timer.
This is not apropos of anything we've been talking about, but have you watched that new Count of Monte Cristo series on BBC?
No, but Carol really wants to watch it. I love the original Count of Monte Cristo movie with
Jim Caviezel.
Yeah, great, just freaking great.
I love that movie. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I do want to watch the new. I haven't watched it yet.
I've watched the first episode, and it took a little while to kind of ramp up, and there are some slight differences between it and the movie, but it's really, really good so far. It's very well acted, very well cast.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want it to be the same as the. You got to switch it. So
yeah,
I'll check it out.
Well, yeah, well, I mean, BBC just does that kind of stuff just really well.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, those British, man, they make good movies. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I love their dramas are amazing, and maybe it's just because their sense of humor is so dry, but I love their comedies too.
Oh yeah. I like Guy Ritchie stuff.
Me too. Like I love his Sherlock Holmes stuff.
Yeah,
and his earlier stuff, Snatch and Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
Yeah, me too. But yeah, guys, so again, markets are moving down. NASDAQ's starting to creep back up there. It's at 23,500. I think we should watch 23,500 right here. We'll put this to the left. 23,500 right there. We also have 23,000. We have this low right here at the 200 exponential, but markets are starting to creep back up here. German Chancellor Merz is speaking right now. He warned that if the war in Iran escalates, it could have serious impacts on Germany, Europe, and similar to 2020. It says the effects on Germany and Europe of Iran war will be serious if it expands. But markets are kind of rebounding back up here. Yeah, whether it's gambling or not, I see some people talking about it. It really is depending on how you define gambling. I've said this many times on my stream. If you define gambling as risking money, obviously, yeah. I mean, we're risking money with no guaranteed outcome. That's some people are going to consider that gambling. If you're going to call gambling risking money with unfavorable odds, that depends on the trader and the person. But if we go by the first definition, a lot of things are gambling. And so it just depends. NASDAQ is pushing up. Maybe we'll buy a dip here if we get one. We got a really obvious risk level at like 425 that I can use right here, where my risk level would be. We have had a pretty good time trading on my Lucid account. So this is one of my smaller accounts, but just to see how you can kind of build up some profit here. Now, Lucid does a really good job. They have direct to funded options and more. But if you check out my actual account here, we've done pretty good on this account. Small gains. Here is my profit graph on this. So here's my profit graph pulled directly from Lucid. And so we've been doing pretty good. There's my profit graph. We have had on this account, we have had 1, 2, 5. We've had 10 trading days. We've had 2 losing days and 8 winning days on this account. You can see my accuracy every day, 71%. So high accuracy, about a break even to risk. So my risk and reward are about even on the trades I take, but my accuracy is high. So yeah. And again, German Chancellor Merz says the effects on Germany and Europe of the conflict will be serious, he says.
Say that again, I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good. German Chancellor Merz says the effects on Germany and Europe of this conflict in Iran will be serious like 2020.
Okay.
So that's going on right now. With the VIX, that's bullish. All right, we're now over 23,500. We are now over 23,500. Let's see what happens here, though, guys. You know, I saw a lot of people hyping today up like it was going to be some type of like Black Monday event. And I think people are just trying to get it. I didn't see anything over the weekend that would cause like that type of dynamic here. What it is. Like, I didn't really see anything that's gonna make people you know, freak out or anything today, to be honest. So, you know, unless we get more escalation news, today is green in markets. NASDAQ's up, Dow's up, S&P 500 is green. So, yeah. Futures are definitely gambling. Slow money, to be honest. Slow Monday. I don't know if it's slow. It's just, it's kind of in the middle, I think. Yeah, I mean, so far it's good news. Again, what's moving markets, just to clarify, guys, is this tweet by the president here. This tweet by the president, where he said the United States is in serious discussions with a new and more reasonable regime to end the military operations overseas in Iran. Great progress has been made. And again, ... But if for any reason a deal is not shortly reached, which it probably will be, and if the Hormuz Strait is not immediately open for business, we will conclude our lovely stay by taking out and obliterating their electric generating plants, oil wells, and Karg Island, and possibly all desalination plants, which we have purposely not yet touched. This will be in retribution for everything going on, so forth and so on. You know, thank you for attention to this matter, U.S. President, end quote. So that is the quote moving markets right now. We have started to head back up, though. We're at 23,500s. Yeah, these remind me. I don't know if anybody watches that. I don't know if it's a TikToker, but he goes, until, you know, it reminds me of that guy. And again, I'm neutral politically. You might hear me and think I'm one way or the other. I'm pretty neutral in all this stuff.
Yeah, but the tenor of that tweet was definitely more stick than carrot.
Yeah, 100%.
Hey, so we're building a bunch more LNG facilities in Texas and Louisiana. Once we get those all completed, how do you think that's going to affect our energy sector? I mean, I know that's mostly it's for exports, but how do you think it's going to affect our energy sector and our economy in general? Any idea?
Well, I hear a lot of people that are really bullish on those right now. Like when I talk to people, they're bullish on that specifics here because it means obviously less dependent on others. I'm not sure. It depends on how much we get done. You know, the thing about the Middle East obviously is it's very oil rich and there's a lot of supply. And so, I mean, and we have some big reserves here too. It just depends. Yeah, Ray Williams.
Okay. I was just curious on your opinion.
Yeah, no,
we have a few.
Good.
There are a few of them already at like stage 2 and 3, so like partial production. But yeah, like I said, I was just curious. I was reading about it.
No, that's reasonable. I still see the poker argument going on right now, where somebody says, "So if me and a poker pro sits down at a table, I'm gambling, but they aren't." Well, I mean, it's all, as a poker player, there's a lot of variance. But you could win easily that. So it just depends. There's variance. It depends on your definition of gambling. It really does.
Well, there's always an element of luck, no matter how prepared you are. But I mean, if you sit down with someone who is a poker player, it seems like they're gambling, but it's a more informed gamble.
I would say poker is more similar to trading, right? Like in trading, even if you do everything right, you got the best A+ setup out there. You know, you're doing everything right. You're making the right decisions. You're sticking to your targets and your risk. You still might lose to 2-7 offsuit that just jumped in there randomly, right? But over the long run, when you zoom out, there's a very famous trading quote, and it says, "When in doubt, zoom out." When in doubt, zoom out. And so when you take in poker, it's called plus EV, plus expected value. Decisions. And in trading, it's the same way, plus EV, plus expected value. Like this is, if I take this setup consistently, I'm going to make, I expect to earn value over time, is essentially what that saying suggests. And in poker, the point is, any individual hand might have differing results. But when you zoom out and you take decisions like that long term, that's when it becomes much more and more probable that you're going to make money, is what the kind of saying is in poker. And in trading, it's incredibly similar, where if you take plus EV trades, where trades that if you take consistently enough long term, you're going to make money. Any individual outcome might differ. You might lose money, you might make money. But if you take those type of trades long term, that's when your probabilities of success increase dramatically. And so that's how you have to look at it. I look at it in a poker mindset because I play poker first, but in trading, it's very similar. Very similar. I hope that makes sense. I think you can still probably fairly call both of them gambling, but it's gambling with favorable odds if you're good. That's what it is. You know, the casino loves blackjack, and their winning edge is what, like 3%, something like that. It might be less than that. I have to go back and check. I'm not a big blackjack player, but same thing. Yeah, I mean, NASDAQ is right here. I'm looking at 23,500s, and I might take a trade here. I might actually take a trade. We'll see. We're at 23,500s. Yeah, we got 1,100 people here, so thank you for tuning in to me today, even though I might say 12 or whatever. I gotta see where all these sounds are coming through. I hear a bunch of notifications. Where they're coming.
All right, I admit it. I'm spamming you.
I know. That's why I have to go check. I'm like, it's Brit messaging me, man. About to chew him out.
It's not me.
I don't know where it's coming from. I really don't. Not Pawn. Yeah, I don't know who's. It'll be all right. All right, so let's see if we can buy the NASDAQ here. I'm looking at the volume profile. We are past some of the codes, but we got a little time to house me. Poker's fun, man. It's fun. I've been playing for like a decade plus now, so like after a certain
pretty good.
I'm decent. I'm good at like sit and goes. Okay, wait. The president, Besson, is saying seeing more and more ships go through the Strait of Hormuz. So Treasury Secretary Besson is speaking right now. Just to recap some of the stuff he said. Besson has said any supply will be helpful. Any supply will be helpful on oil. He stated that, unsanctioned Russia and Iran oil is, quote, on the water. We're seeing more supply as countries cut deals with Iran, and the U.S. will take control of the strait over time, or retake control of the strait, I should say. Seeing more ships go through Hormuz. If a deal is not shortly reached, again, the president said earlier, if the Strait of Hormuz is not immediately open, the U.S. will conclude our lovely stay in Iran with retaliation, whatever. Besson says oil market is well supplied as countries make deals with Iran, increasing the supply. He states that the U.S. will gradually take control of the strait related to Iran and oil. He said we could get hundreds of billions of U.S. dollar recouping fraud money. And so Besson's speaking right now. 23,500 seems like a good little dip buy entry here. Let's see. You gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run. That's a quote by me. I said that quote. You know, that's my quote.
Yeah, you're clearly Kenny Rogers.
It's definitely not Kenny Rogers that said it. All right. I'd love to buy a dip here. We get a dip down to like 90 maybe. 490, I'll buy it. But I need a wait. You know, we might be able to buy it like 75 as well here. Yeah. Looking at our poll, we're completely 50-50 out of 900 votes. Completely 50-50 after 900 votes here. So, yeah, we do have Jerome Powell speaking later on this morning. Jerome Powell is scheduled to speak at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today, guys. 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. I'm sorry, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time today. You can see a timer on the bottom of the screen.
I say that's gonna be a long stream.
Yeah, 10:30 p.m. Yeah. Yeah, so again, Treasury Secretary said we could get hundreds of billions recouping fraud money. States that the U.S. will gradually take control of the strait related to Iran and oil. Says banks are filing 20% more suspicious activity reports via Fox. Yeah, I need a pullback before I buy this here. If you look at the last 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 minutes, we are virtually flat today. We are not really moving here. Markets are basically flat, not really doing much. So we are waiting. We are hoping that we get some better price action today, but it's very slow right now in markets, guys. It's very slow. Not a lot going on. Yeah, we'll see what we get. Is there a dip in oil? Here's oil.
What determines suspicious activities?
Yeah, I have no idea. That's in banking. You know?
Yeah.
So no.
I wasn't really like asking you. It's just I just kind of wondered what, you know, how that's defined.
Yeah, that gets into banking.
Yeah, no, it was an out loud question, not really to you.
No, Britt, you accept the answer. Okay.
All right, fine.
You accept that answer, dude. Accept the answer I'm giving you. All right. Stop talking back on the stream, dude. You know, I'm gonna ban you in here. You know.
Might be.
Large transactions. Yeah. That's really what they mean if you look at the chat. Large transactions from weird sources, stuff like that. Yeah, you can't handle the truth, Britt.
Another good reference. No, I can't.
Oh. The Shadow Realm, that's right. You shall not pass. Yeah. Maybe not as relevant. Take him out with your jiu-jitsu? Oh, dude, Britt would get messed up.
That's true. That's why I'm gonna hit you when you're not looking.
That's fair. That's your only shot, I think. You know?
It is totally. I don't want to get murked on the ground.
Yeah, I get it. Teach him AI. Ask AI to cheat you. I wonder what that would say. Buy or sell here, guys. Buy or sell. I'm confused about, again, market's just so flat. And you can kind of see the volume profile, just to give you guys some understanding about this. When we start to get into these higher areas here, a lot of the time that's like balance price. But right now, the NASDAQ has had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 relatively flat sideways candles. We're just waiting for some decent price action here, guys. I don't want to force trades. Jerome Powell does speak later. And so we're just trying to take it slow here. We're trying to trade smart. And again, I'm not going to pretend like it's some crazy good price action for trading just to get you guys hyped up, to keep you guys entertained. I'd rather just be real about it and tell you guys this is mostly just flat price action. See which way we go today. But yeah, we're relatively flat as of now. Hey, sorry, Sam, feel better, dude. Gotta watch to see if the president's tweeting anymore. Okay, so the president did tweet before. He tweets a lot. Tweeted earlier about. Yeah, no, it really does. He tweeted 10 hours ago as well. Big day in Iran. Many long sought after targets have been taken out and destroyed by our great military. Yeah, it does keep it interesting. You gotta watch. People always ask me like, "Hey, where do you get the news?" Most of the time, social media. Yeah. So again, Powell speaks at Harvard at 10:30 p.m. in a rare unscripted appearance. So he's going to be taking questions at 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. It comes after a pretty turbulent period. We had a dismissed Justice Department probe and ongoing political pressure over interest rates. Fed has kept rates steady despite inflation nearing 3%. Rising uncertainty for the Iran conflict. The labor market has shown sign of weakness, though. His term ends in May next month. Or no, almost next month. But they've consistently said if the subpoena, if the probe isn't finished by then, he might stay on. They're not going to confirm wash until the subpoena is over. So there's a chance, and it's a small chance, but there's a chance Powell stays on past his term as chairman. That he stays on as chairman past his term. It's a small chance. We look at Poly Market and other betting odds to see what they're pricing in terms of Powell staying on. Yeah, so the last poll that I really see is that there's a less than 1% chance that Powell stays on past March 31st. There's a 2% chance he stays on past May 14th. It expires May 15th, and so basically they're pricing in a 2% that Powell stays on chairman past that point, according to odds maker betting sites. Yeah, the NASDAQ's pulling back down, but it's not a very large drop here. I mean, you can dip. I wouldn't say the dip is anywhere large enough. If you get down to here at like 85s, maybe 5, I'd buy a dip around. I'll trade. Again, the strategy I've been using here is very simple. I start small and then I add to it if it gets in my favor. If it doesn't get into my favor, it keeps it a pretty small trade. If it does, then I can have a much larger potential win. So try to keep wins larger and losses smaller. Again, that is kind of what we're doing right now. So, yeah, that is what we're now here. What
do you know about the guy that's supposed to replace Powell, or maybe replacing him?
Kevin Warsh. So,
yeah,
Trump did pick Kevin Warsh, right? So Trump picked Kevin Warsh. Warsh historically has been really critical of printing. And so Warsh is generally dovish. Like, Warsh is a little bit more reasonable in terms of like rate cuts. Warsh thinks that rate cuts are okay generally. I'm kind of simplifying it, but he's pretty critical of printing, meaning like quantitative easing is when the Fed prints. They basically create online money and then use that online money to buy up bonds and other assets, expanding the Federal Reserve's balance sheet. It's called quantitative easing. What it's called. But the consequence of that is inflation problems, much more profound inflation issues than just basic rate cuts. And so Warsh is generally, some people consider him a hawk. And when Trump originally announced that Warsh was going to be the next chairman, markets reacted negatively. They interpreted it as a hawkish thing, like a more restrictive thing, because Warsh has in the past, especially like 2008 and 2020, been a little bit critical of the Federal Reserve's dovish behavior and inflation spiking behavior for those periods. I don't necessarily think he's going to be super hawkish. He might be a little bit less willing to print than what people expected. The president wants low interest rate environment, right? So the president has really been pushing for interest rate cuts. Warsh might be a little bit less reluctant to print, but I still think Warsh is going to be pretty dovish in context.
So he's basically just not real big on modern economic theory, basically.
Yeah, he just doesn't want to print to get us out of situations. And to be fair, that's kind of, that's a little bit more reasonable, I'd say. I think quantitative easing causes inflation problems. It's one of the reasons, and I say one of the reasons that 2020 had so many inflation problems. One of those reasons is because, the labor market started to tumble in 2020 because it was 2020, and we kind of super eased to get out of it. There were also, again, stimulus checks caused problems. Supply chains were disrupted, of course, and so there's just a lot of things that caused inflation in the years following 2020. But yeah. All right, guys. So NASDAQ has dipped down some here. Yeah, Bitcoin, we can also take a look at. I see some people yelling at me to put up Bitcoin here. Bitcoin certainly sitting at almost 68,000. So Bitcoin is trying to get back up here. Here's Bitcoin right here. So here's Bitcoin. It's at 67,840s. Let me start. Yeah, so here's Bitcoin. Bitcoin's had a good day today. If we put up like a 5-minute chart, though, you can kind of see Bitcoin towards the end of last week fell all the way down to 65,000s here. It has since rebounded, and really late yesterday, Bitcoin fell all the way down to 67.5s and then down and got bought right back up. It's back up at 68,000 here. So Bitcoin has tried to stabilize after dipping all the way down to 64,750. We'll see. Again, we heard news earlier this week that MicroStrategy did not buy any Bitcoin over the last week, which is a rarity here. That's not usually something that happens. So Strategy did not buy Bitcoin over the last week. Hey, coin heads, stop yelling at John.
Well, somebody needs to yell at him.
Yeah, that's probably fair. All right, guys. We are heading into the opening bell today. We are heading into the opening bell. See what we get today. But all right, NASDAQ is starting to dip down here. I was talking about this level. I want to make sure there's no breaking news that's dragging this down, to be honest, first, though. So we are starting to see some movement here. But I want to make sure we don't have breaking news to drag the market down. Let's take a look. Yeah, I don't really see anything yet that might move this. But look at that drop here. So you always got to be careful, to be honest. Look at this dip here. So we are dipping some right now. Thinking about buying this dip, but I think I said 475 to 485. We got down to 4. I might have said 4. I still look for a larger dip. I'd rather like old. Yeah, we're trying to dip. Yeah, we still have 40 minutes into the opening bell, and again, we got about an hour and a half before Powell speak. So about an hour and a half. Back sub. All right, I'm gonna buy this dip. Maybe jump it a little. I might add some size all the way down to 40. Risk level of like. So small position though. We are, jumping in volatile times. Oh. Maybe we'll add to it if we start to reach the top at 25s. We're very small, guys. I just don't trust it enough. We'll obviously trade a little bit more actively after the opening bell, but for now, there's also a chance we chop. It is Monday though. Last week, it's been kind of a choppy time in a lot of different markets. with everything going on. I think people just don't know really what to do. So how long have we been streaming right now, Britt? Let me see.
This is 95 minutes.
Yeah. All right. Hour and a half, basically.
Yeah.
Hey, John, what was with the...
Right.
No, my mic is working here. He said, what was with the Trump stream yesterday? Well, we got breaking news. Dude, I blame these freaking crypto channels, bro. Crypto channels, they spew nonsense, dude. Like on X.com, on Twitter, crypto channels spew nonsense. So I'm researching it, and I think even AI gets confused. Look at the range here. We bought a dip, but it's all here.
There's more than 15 people watching.
Wow, 15 watching now, dude. Yeah. No. If I check the stats, like I said, we have about 1,100 and we got about 1,100 people watching here. Like, look, here's the streams graph, to be honest. This is today's stream. So there's some weird glitch on YouTube. We got about 1150 peak. Really, right now we got about 1,100 watching. So, yeah, there's some weird glitch on YouTube. Like I said, I woke up this morning and I looked at it and there was nobody on the watch page, and I was like, they don't love me anymore. They don't love me. You know, they woke up this morning and they were just like, you know what? I'm tired of John. You know.
Yeah, when instead just turns out it was somehow artificially deflated.
Right, you know. Conspiracy here.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We're testing this 23.5. I will add to this, like I said, down to like 95 to 9. That's just small. Because to be fair, the NASDAQ really isn't moving. We can take a little risk here, but I'd love to see a bounce for 4. All right, so we're in 4. Pretty small trade. I'll add to, or if we go deeper. But I'd love to see a bounce testing 5s. Yeah, dude, Izzy got beat up, dude. Joe P is just he's legit. Even with 4 micros, like it's not like I'm up a lot. Izzy's getting old, dude. Once you hit 30, 35, not even 30. Once you hit like 34, 35, I think Izzy's like 36 or 37 now. Once you hit that age, your chin starts to go, number one. And your reaction speed slows a little bit.
Well, especially after fighting Pereira 3 or 4 times.
Right. Like testosterone starts to go down. Like that's what happens, you know. Not even Pereira. Like I think the Strickland fight took Izzy's chin out a little bit. Strickland called him clean. Yeah. And then he got hit, and that happens. But I think Izzy's just getting older. He's still good though. It was a good back and forth fight up until that point. Like Joe P is younger, much younger than Izzy is. So
how much more did Strickland hit him, like, you know, volume wise than Pereira? Because usually like it's the volume that gets you, not the power shots.
Much more. So hold on. I'm gonna take half of this position off, and then maybe add to it if we continue to go in the green. Might add a little bit more here actually. All right, we just doubled our size back, and we will cut it the rest break even. We're over 500s now. I think that's good. Let me check breaking news to make sure nothing's going on here. Yeah, dude, that knockout with Grasso was the weirdest KO I've ever seen, dude. Strangest KO I've ever seen. He, right here. I'm gonna give this a second more because we're already in the green. Strangest KO I've ever seen. She got knocked out. Fell on. She got knocked out. Immediately RNC'd out as well. Woke back up. Wrestled the ref. And then completely unexplained, just went out again for like 2 minutes. Strangest KO I've ever seen. Genuinely.
Yeah, that's wild. I haven't seen anything quite like that myself.
Yeah. Yeah, it was weird. It was weird. Good to see you here taking in another solid streamer. You caught me in my other home. Who? What? Mike Jones? No. Okay.
CPU says your mic is messing up.
Is my mic messing up? Oh my gosh, my mic is back to rainbow again. Look at this. It might be, dude. Honestly, I'll say it was. I'll say it again. Possibly the most genius marketing strategy. I'm going to go ahead and cut another piece of this off here because it's pushing up so much. Possibly the most genius marketing strategy for any mic brand in the world. And the marketing strategy goes like this. If you buy the mic, if you don't download their software, the mic is rainbow colored. You know, the only way you can get it to change out of a rainbow color, I'm going to cut it right here nicely in the green. The only way you can get it to change outside of rainbow color is to download their software. Genius marketing tactic here. Genius marketing tactic.
Well, yeah, well, I like rainbows, so I'm not downloading it.
Hey, baby. All right, sorry. Is my voice cutting out here, guys? I'm sorry.
I mean, you've been fine for me the whole time, but I mean, maybe the quality is different for everybody else.
Yeah. Possibly true. Do we have mic problems today, guys? You know. Fine on this end as well? Okay. Yeah, there's a glitch on YouTube. Mic is fine.
I'm assuming that voice Jesus was in reference to me, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, look, here's the NASDAQ, guys. The NASDAQ, I should have held this. Look at the NASDAQ rip up here. This has got to be catalyst driven of some sort. Hold on. I see Japan's finance minister is speaking. He said crude oil futures move, rippling through FX market. Told G7 Japan is watching market moves with a high sense of urgency as volatile and crude futures have a huge impact. I don't know if this would cause this big spike up here, though. But look at the NASDAQ rip up here. So the NASDAQ is pushing up right now on something. I'm checking breaking news. I don't really see anything outside of Japan's finance minister saying that she told G7 that Japan is watching FX with a sense of urgency. But markets are moving higher here. It could just be price action related. Could be algorithm moves. Oh, it's 9 a.m. Yeah, it could be just the 9 a.m. That's what it is. Okay, that's what it is. Yeah, this is just the 9 a.m. orders going through. I'm tempted to buy right here as well, but Hamzat, dude. Hamzat. Strickland's good. He's not good enough to grapple with Hamzat, dude. Hamzat's gonna be champ for a long time, in my opinion.
As much as I don't like Hamzat, like genuinely, I don't see anybody beating him. Like you said, like he's really, really good.
He's so good, dude. Saw what he did to Drickus?
No, actually I didn't. Like I work most Saturday nights, so I don't get to see a lot of it. What happened?
Yeah, he held Drickus down for 25 minutes. Drickus could not do anything.
Wow.
Yeah, it could do nothing. Could do nothing to him. He's gonna be champ for a long time. All right, guys. So again, NASDAQ is up, starting to push towards the highs here. Again, the president tweeted back here, right? So you can look at this range and see the president tweeted right here, pushed it up to 580s. 580s. We're starting to fill some of that gap on the upside. Okay, dude, I gotta figure out where these notifications are. I'm gonna mute.
You figured out what's doing it?
Yeah. Yeah. All right, so market's heading up. We would do for the opening bell. Again, Powell is scheduled to speak in an hour and a half, roughly here. An hour and a half. We don't really have any economic data. We did have some stuff that showed up earlier today, actually, specifically at 9 o'clock this morning. We had some stuff, but everything was pretty much flat. Market moving here. And Jerome Powell, 10:30 Eastern Standard Time today, speaks. We'll see what he's got to say about everything. Yeah, we'll see. Markets are watching it and waiting for it. And it's honestly a busy week this week. So this week we have Jerome Powell today. We have Jolt's job openings report tomorrow. We've got ADP monthly report Wednesday. Thursday we have jobless claims. Friday we have non-farm payrolls and unemployment data. So a lot of stuff is going on this week that is, potentially market moving. We'll see how it goes. The Big Papa Jerome Powell is speaking sometime today, 10:30.
I know some people don't believe in it as like an economic theory, but what do you believe about like a net zero sum or a zero sum game? You think it's real?
Hold on, I'm looking at breaking news. Okay, sorry. So Japan's Katayama revealed that G7 finance heads and central bank leaders talked about the importance of working together to address challenges such as struggling in private credit and bond market instability, the need for coordination in deals like private credit. Sorry, I'm trying to see. I see more posts here. Okay. Sorry, Britt. Go back to your question. What do you mean by zero sum game?
Just that there's a finite number of resources, economic and physical, and that it can only be it can only be divided, not added to.
Yeah, but I mean, isn't that the nature of everything, though?
I mean, yeah, I mean, unless you discover more resources or new resources or whatever, I guess. But
right,
I'm just curious what you think about it as a theory.
No, you're good. I think it's true, but I think over time we develop new ways of doing things regardless, and so the resources we once used might not be as effective in the future, stuff like that. So yeah, I think it's true, but
it expands as technology advances.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
That's right. Add a line. Addie beat me at ping pong twice yesterday, dude. And I didn't even let her win. I'm still kind of mad about it. Like, she joined the table tennis club at school and everything. She hasn't even gone to a meeting. Look, I'm just going to assume it's because of my guidance here that she beat me. I'm just going to assume, like, I have been such a good trainer to her at ping pong. Now she's elite,
They beat you because she's a beast. Just admit it.
That's right. I'm like Obi-Wan, but in ping pong. I love you, dude. Great day.
I just got a mental picture of somebody cutting you in half with a ping pong paddle.
Yeah. I'm going to get a big robe and wear it around the house and just take credit for it. Yeah, she legit beat me though. I'm not really happy about it, honestly. I didn't let her win either.
Up your game and beat her next time.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at the NASDAQ fall down. Oil is going up a little bit here. Potential volatility. Again, Japan's Katayama states G7 has consensus on avoiding rising crude oil prices and supply issues that could impact currency movements and global economic growth. We are seeing some negative reactions in markets here, though, although markets have been basically flat over the last 40 minutes. Big rage. Yeah, I don't see any updates here on unless the president tweeted, which I think I would have heard about that by now. Again, the president did tweet earlier, we've been in serious discussions with Iran, but Iran basically came out denying it, saying the opposite. This was about an hour ago. So, yeah, we're sitting tight here. We do have Jerome Powell later. So, we do have Jerome Powell later here.
Also, do you think anybody gave Hamzat a better fight than Gilbert Burns? Because personally, I don't.
Dude, no. Gilbert Burns almost KO'd him a couple times. Hamzat's chin was up in the air in that fight. I remember that fight. Hamzat's chin was way up there. You know, he's a grappler, so I give him a little bit of, you know. But Gilbert Burns is legit. He's legit. He's getting old, but he's not an easy fight for anybody, I don't think.
I love Gilbert Burns. I think he's a fantastic fighter, especially as he diversified his skill set. And personally, I thought he won that fight. I thought the decision should have gone the other way.
Yeah, no, for sure. I thought it was close. I thought it was close. So I see Keegan say, "Are you sure non-farm payrolls are happening?" Let me raise this a little bit here. I'm gonna put the Powell Speaks thing in the corner right there. He says, "Are you sure non-farm payrolls are happening this week? We're closed Friday throughout the shutdown. Thought the shutdown delayed it. The shutdown is only for the Department of Homeland Security. It has nothing to do with NFP data. So NFP data and other economic data by the Bureau of Labor Statistics is going to be on for the next year. I can't remember how long the deal was the last time. Look at the NASDAQ fall here. But yeah, so we're definitely getting NFP data on Friday, unless I missed something. We're definitely getting NFP data on Friday. Now, the stock market is closed. The futures market, I believe, is open for Good Friday. I'm pretty sure, right? So we will be streaming on Friday morning. Oh wait, most U.S. futures are closed on Good Friday. No trading for energies, metals, grains. Equities are closed Friday, April 3rd, reopening Sunday, April 5th. Interest rates and FX are open. And so, yeah, so apparently markets are basically closed on Friday. But we are getting NFP data and unemployment on Friday. So I will be streaming regardless. It's just, we're not going to be trading much. But yeah. All right, so again, we did get some NASDAQ dropping here ahead of the opening bell. And how long? In 20 minutes. Jerome Powell does speak today. We will see what he says, but he does speak this morning, 10:30 Eastern Standard Time today, in about an hour. Exactly an hour after the opening bell is when Powell speaks. Is that his new name? Why do you think the markets pumped when the president tweeted? Do you think his message was more bullish or bearish? I think markets originally reacted positively to it because of the first half, and then algorithms and more interpreted the second half, is what I think. So we were live when this happened. So we were streaming live when this happened. And so essentially what happened here, if you look at the actual tweet itself, right, the beginning of the tweet was very optimistic. So you can see this big move right here. The beginning of the tweet, very optimistic. Basically, we're having serious negotiations with Iran, is what the beginning of the tweet said. And then it turned the other way, where he said, hey, negotiations are growing great with Iran. You know, we're having serious negotiations, you know, and all that stuff. And then it turned, and then he said, but if they don't open the strait now, basically, we're going to completely obliterate them, is what he said.
And so it's went from good news to immediately threatening.
No, and the markets digested it in that way. And again, I'm not saying I agree or disagree with any of this stuff. I'm just telling you what happened here. Again, markets pushed up, went to this high right here, and then as soon as they read the rest of the tweet, immediately came back down and went red. So that's what happened. 100%. That's what happened.
Yeah, yeah, you could just see everybody going, uh-oh.
Yeah, and markets have kind of filled that gap back to the upside here, but that's basically what's going on right now. So yeah, that's essentially what. Yeah, also there's YouTube glitches today, but like, well, you know, there's YouTube glitches. Strickland is not winning that fight, bro.
If he could stay on his feet, he'd have a shot, but he's just not going to stay on his feet.
Right, exactly. Yeah, he's not going to stay on. Yeah, again, Jerome Powell does speak soon. Yeah, there's weirdness on YouTube right now. Again, it's like, I know we have like 1,000+ people here. I can check the background of it. Here was it earlier. Like I said, here's it earlier. But it says we have 13 people here.
Somebody said Iranian hack on YouTube.
Maybe it is, dude. They've been trying to hack us. They really have been trying to hack us. And oil's starting to push back up. Look at oil. Oil back over $100. It's at 101.40s a barrel for WTI crude. The oil's trying to push back up here. It's trying. So we will see what happens here, guys. But
have you ever looked at a picture of Brent crude, like in a container?
Yes, it's been a while though.
Looks like cooking oil. The only one I've seen cleaner is I think it's Malaysian oil, Tapis crude.
Yeah. What data is Powell basing his speech on? Is it data from the last month or current data? What do you mean by that? Yeah, something's wrong. Like, everything's all wacky right now, to be honest. Like, it's not even letting me look at my analytics section of my stream anymore. Like, it was for a little while. Oh, okay, it just worked. Yeah. Yeah, we have about 1,000 people right now.
Look at Blaze and John fell off. Ignore the hundreds of chats.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You know, that's what the haters will say. Yeah, if we look at our poll here, like I said, if we look, even if we pull up our poll here, 50-50 completely split on the poll, red and green. Both oil and metals have pushed up 2 business days in a row. Previously, one went up, the other went down. What's your take on that? Are things changing compared to the first week of the war? Yeah, I think markets are just getting baked into everything. I think they're starting to expect what we're seeing here, which is that tweets, comments, more escalations over the weekend, and so I think because of that, they're just reacting less to that. You know, I think that's essentially what's going on. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Let's ask the chat this. Where are you guys from this morning? Where are you guys watching from this morning?
I was just about to mention that.
Yeah. Where are you guys from? Let me know in chat right now.
I'm from the same place as yesterday.
Well, that's always good. Canada. Tampa.
There was no expected response to that.
And that's Canada. New York City. Finland. Boston. In bed. Mexico. VPN. Seattle area. Iowa. Hey, what's up, guys? England. North Jersey. Brisbane, Australia. Slovakia. Oh, cool. Memphis. Romania. The great nation of Texas. I can respect it, Army. I'm in Texas right now. West Palm Beach. Uzbekistan. Germany. Laos. Philly. Florida. Italy. Nigeria. Louisiana. Hey, my guy. 0. Vietnam. Chicago. Nepal. Cyprus. Your mom's house? That hurts, dude. That hurts. Nigeria. Canada. Afghanistan. Dallas. Monterrey. Croatia. Belgium. Florida.
The great nation of Texas.
Yeah. It might as well be a nation that's big enough. Vegas. All right, guys. We got a range to watch at the opening bell. We have 15 minutes. Until the market opens, 15 minutes. You guys ready for the opening bell today here?
Also assuming NS is Nova Scotia.
Yeah, that's right. More than 13? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, those 13 people are active in the chat right now. That's all it is. Hopefully they get it fixed here. We're gonna do another, we're gonna do a dedicated stream for the Powell speech. But yeah, Canada's actually really pretty. I like Canada a lot. I've lived there for a while. I have, you know, I have a lot of people I know there, and Canada's great. I've mostly spent time in Ontario, but
I watched an old series from the 30s through the 50s called Travel Talks, and one of the ones they did was on Lake Banff, and I really want to go there. It looks just incredibly beautiful.
Canada's really nice, dude. Yeah, Jerome Powell today, guys. Be ready. Again, make sure you hit the live button next to the play button. And we're at 23,500s here. 23,500s. Market opens up in 13 minutes. You guys bullish or bearish for the open here? I'm going to do another poll. Look at how 50-50. We got like 1,100 votes. 50-50 split on the poll. Interesting. Yeah. We are green. We've had 10 green days in this funded account that I'm trading on. Or no, we've had 10 days of trading on it so far. 8 of them are green. 2 of them are red. So we're going to be careful, but we're going to be, strategic here as well. Okay, so I'm seeing CBS reporting, citing sources that hundreds of U.S. Special Ops military personnel, including Navy SEALs and Army Rangers, are now in the Middle East, as well as Marines and Army paratroopers, according, again, to CBS citing sources. Oh, I'm bad at hockey, dude. I'm not good at hockey. I played hockey as a kid. Pee-wee hockey or whatever it was. I was absolutely horrible. My daughter thinks I was like freaking Wayne Gretzky because I can ice skate, but I was terrible as a child. I was not good at all. The team, I'm pretty sure, was like, dude, don't let this kid play.
All the kids in the neighborhood were better than John. I saw it.
Dude, we used to play roller hockey. I was actually good. I don't know if I was good at roller hockey, but still. I'd like to think, like, looking back on those memories, that I was good at roller hockey. I'm pretty sure I was bad at that too. All right, so yeah, I'm seeing this. Goldman Sachs says investors are overestimating the chance of Fed rate hikes as oil prices surge. Brent crude over 115 fueled inflation fears. The bank points to 1990 when markets expected tightening after an oil shock, but the Fed ultimately cut rates as growth weakened. The markets are pricing in higher rates, but Goldman Sachs doesn't really buy it, is what it is. Yeah, join our community Discord. It's completely free. You can see it pinned at the top of the chat. If you haven't already joined, we appreciate it.
Also, that's all right, John. You might have sucked at hockey, but you were like Tony Hawk on a skateboard.
I really was like Tony Hawk on a skateboard. Maybe not Tony Hawk. Tony Hawk, I was more of a street skater. Tony Hawk was more vert. But.
I know. I'm just saying, like, yeah. Throw me a bone here, man. These are one of the only ones I know, okay?
No, you get it right, Britt. You get it right, dude. I
used to know more, but I just can't remember any of them.
Yeah, it's been a while. I haven't been into skating. I'll still watch skateboard videos on my phone. Like, my phone algorithm is like, hey, watch this skateboarding video. And just because I used to skate, I'm like, okay, let me see if this guy lands this trick. Haven't skated seriously though in like genuinely 15 years. Been a while.
I think there was a really good skater back in the day, like around the time when Tony Hawk was first getting really big. I think his name was Christian Hosoi or something like that. He was supposed to be awesome. He had been in the Christ Air.
Yeah. The real GOAT is Rodney Mullen. Rodney Mullen's best.
Oh yeah, no, he's awesome.
He invented a lot of the modern tricks.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So we got this range in the NASDAQ here. Let's draw a square around it. We're gonna look for an opening range breakout as well. So that is what we're gonna target. Opening range breakout. We're gonna watch this range though first. So here's the range that I see markets really making here over the last hour or so of price action. So we're watching this range here. We'll see if we break out of this range and see if we have any good trades to take. But yeah. Saudi Ministry of Defense notes of interception and destruction of 2 drones in the past hours. So I did see that news just come out. We are going to get ready to trade the opening bell here. But we will see what we get. I want to change my vote. It's looking bullish. The poll is over. Let's do another poll here. Are you bullish or bearish for the opening bell? Go to the poll.
Saw John outscore Bam Margera. Current Bam or old school Bam?
I feel like I might beat current Bam. I honestly, joking, I still would. But old Bam, he definitely would have.
Oh yeah.
You know they're making a Grind 2 movie as well, right? I don't know if you guys have ever seen it.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I love Grind.
Yeah, same characters too, or same actors.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. All right, guys. Opening bell here in 8 minutes. 8 minutes. Market is pretty quiet here after some Trump tweets and more happening. We're almost here, though, today, guys. Almost here. Looking at our poll. 56% bulls. 44% bears. $55 bulls. So the bulls are winning the opening bell poll. Fitch also says it does not currently view private credit risk as systemic despite exhibiting various bubble-like attributes. The attributes include rapid growth, financial innovation, spread compression, heightened competition, growing retail participation, and rising borrower leverage. And I think the private credit issues more reflect 2007 than anything. So I think if you're arguing an AI bubble, I think that more accurately reflects 2000, obviously, with the internet bubble that we had in 2000 bursting and going into a bear market from it. I think if we're talking about private credit, you know, it's looking more like 2007. What do you guys think? Hey, what's up, Plague? Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say thanks for joining the Discord, Plague.
Yeah.
Also, just to check, you're not getting any feedback from me, right?
No, you're good.
Okay.
Do you guys think we crash in the next 2 years in the market? That probably is a better option for the poll. Again, everybody's acting like today's going to be Black Monday. I don't know, guys. I think, markets are actually going up a little bit on this stuff, so.
Yeah, did a bunch of Wall Street guys like throw themselves out of windows on Black Monday?
I don't know. I'm not. Yeah, that's a little controversial. Yeah.
Okay.
They might have. I don't know. White Swan today. Yeah, that's my friend Britt. I've known Britt for.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, it has been a while. All right, so looking at our poll, 56% are bullish. We have, 5 minutes into the opening bell. Look at the NASDAQ start to fall down. That's probably the market on open data dropping. But the NASDAQ is starting to dip here. Again, Fitch came out, Fitch is a rating agency. They came out saying credit risks are not seen as systemic in private credit, even though they show bubble-like features. Yeah, if you're here enough, you might as well join. I was hoping YouTube would have this weird glitch fixed by now, but... Alright, so we did dip a little bit on the market on open. But yeah. Jerome Powell does speak today. Who's Britt? I'm just gonna start calling Britt just because...
Dude, people have done that my whole life. They call me Brent. Literally, people have called me Brick and Rick. It's like you completely misheard everything.
Yeah.
I got to the point where I just stopped correcting people. It's like, yep, that's my name. Sure, whatever.
I believe it. I believe it. All right, guys. Opening bells very soon here. Very soon. We are at 23,500 at the top of the range here. We're gonna be watching for this range to break. God, I hope you're paying Britt something. His interjections are mostly insightful and or good questions. I know, listen, you just got brownie points from him, too, because you spelled his name correctly. I've been his friend for 20 years. I shortened his name to BRT, and he gets upset. But,
Now you just left out the I. I mean, come on.
It's an abbreviation,
I appreciate spelling my name correctly, and I appreciate the compliment. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yeah, again, Fitch came out earlier that says it does not currently view private credit risks as systemic despite exhibiting various bubble-like attributes, including rapid growth, financial innovation, spread compression, and more. So we do have Nike earnings tomorrow, but the opening bell is here. Guys, the opening bell is here. Let's see what we get today. We have Jerome Powell speaking live later on this morning. We do have Jerome Powell going live later on today. Again, live streams are glitched out on YouTube if you're watching us. Live streams are glitched out on YouTube right now. They are not working very well today. And, yeah. Again, we have Powell speaking live at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, 8:30. We did a poll earlier asking people, are people bullish or bearish for the opening bell? So far, 61% are bullish for the opening bell. 39% are bearish. We have had one green trade today, so we are going into the opening bell green. And let's see if we can get some good trades in. Powell speaks in about an hour here, guys. About 1 hour. See what we get. I'm watching Alphabet. Apple push up ahead of the opening bell. Oil is still elevated, though. It's still at 101s. I will potentially trade gold if we get some good stuff.
I wonder when we'll get more news on Alphabet's compression stuff.
Yeah, we'll see. It's just a theory at this point. I think it was a paper written. And so whether we're going to see that, it really depends. It might be some time.
Is that childhood hater still coming into the chat from time to time?
A childhood hater?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're talking about.
I'm not sure which one they're talking about either. I have no idea. Yeah, Nvidia, if we take a look at it, guys. Nvidia is sitting at 169. So I think Nvidia getting over 170 is a relevant spot here. But let's see what the opening bell brings today. Jerome Powell does speak in about an hour here. 1 hour. Brent the kind of guy that should drop. Brent the kind of guy to buy physical oil because he doesn't understand futures. Yeah, Brent the type of guy to form a... yeah. Does Powell speak at 9:30? He speaks at 10:30 Eastern time. So not right now. He speaks in an hour.
Said you used to say somebody you know was hating in secret.
Used to say somebody you know was hating. I don't know, dude. It's hard to tell. Again, I've had a lot of people that work with the channel, and sometimes people start working with the channel, and then they get. I don't know. We're gonna cover the opening bell. There's the market open. The NASDAQ is down. We're at 490s right now. 490s. NASDAQ is falling a little bit at the opening bell. Not a crazy drop though. This is not a crazy drop. But let's see if it continues here. The NASDAQ has fallen down. It's at 480s. Here's the bottom of that range that we drew earlier here. There's the bottom of the range. Look at that retracement all the way back up right at the bottom of that range we are getting some buyers stepping in. Look at that retracement back up. Sometimes the first move is the wrong move in markets as well. So we'll give it some time. Markman, no, there's more than 16 people watching. It's just some glitch that they do at the opening bell. It's some glitch that's affecting everything, basically. There's no channels that just glitches. Yeah. So we are back down to the bottom of the range here. We are breaking down here. Here's the 200 exponential at 470. So we are going to watch the 200 EMA at 470. We're too close to the bell. I need to wait generally at least 5 minutes to trade. About 5 minutes. So we are waiting here to find some better price action, but oh, all right, guys. If we hold here, look at the NASDAQ just rip up and break that top here. Now, remember, the top of the Trump tweet is right here at 580 exactly. Right at exactly 580 on the NASDAQ here. So we did break out of this range. And we'll see if we start to fight our way back higher there. So we are breaking out of that range of the NASDAQ. All right, so here we go. You could buy a dip here, but we're only about 2 minutes into the day, so I should probably... I don't hate a dip buy down to like this 514 level right here. All right, look, I'm going to break my... Give it a second here. I don't really like it, but I can't help it. We are green. Will I get punished for breaking my rules today, guys? It's a small position. I'll add to it if it goes green. But, I probably deserve to. Hopefully justice doesn't prevail here, though. I'll add to this now. Push back higher real quick. Will justice prevail, or will I get away with breaking my rules here?
I think you'll get away with it, personally.
I don't know, dude. It's not looking like.
I'm trying to be optimistic for you.
Dude. Personally, I blame you for this right now, Britt.
It's totally my fault. I was encouraging you behind the scenes to, do what you shouldn't have.
I know. I believe that. I really do. All right, we're back. I'm going to take half of this position. Oh, I didn't take it. I'm going to take half off right here. And wait. Justice wins? Yeah, Justice did one. They never bet against Justice. Just don't bet against Justice here. Luckily, I had a cushion leading into this, but it's starting to look worse. We're kind of in the middle range here. I was hoping we'd hold. I should have cut it immediately. Broke down underneath. But yeah, we're going to have to cut that right there. Now we will wait. Nvidia whips too. I am now down on this account on the day. $30. A whopping $30 here, guys. I don't know if I will ever financially recover from that, but... All right, so I'm showing this. Trump administration is proposing giving employees legal protection to include alternative assets, private equity, real estate, digital assets, and retirement plans, according to Bloomberg. Yeah, I don't see any breaking news here. All right, so I got out in time here. We're back down to the 200 exponential here, though, so we are going red on the day here. Look at this drop showing up. John's rules. Wait 15 minutes after the open. Don't add to a losing trade. John is a bad influence. I'm definitely one. Look at the NASDAQ come down here, though. So we are breaking down here. We are at 23,465s right now. So we are falling here. We are falling down. Well, at least there's only 14 people here to see it, you know? The Bulls still in control. The Bulls were winning the poll here. The Bulls are 59% on the poll out of 300 votes. You guys still believe in the Bull side? I will short this. We get a rebound up to 470s, though. So right now I'm looking at 470s up here. We need a rebound, though. Look at the red showing up here, though, guys. Market is red. I don't know if I'm going to get... All right, we're at 440s now. Yeah, I just don't know if I'm going to get a chance to. Look at this red action showing up in markets here. So we are dipping down now in markets here, guys. Powell is scheduled to speak at 10:30 today. 10:30. See what he says. Yeah, all good, Brett. All good, dude. God, give me a funded account, please. What do you think I am? The funded account Santa Claus over here, dude? Huh? I'll do a giveaway, but it's after Jerome Powell.
He does keep a red Santa outfit, you know, but
right.
Code BGT parties.
That's right. That's right. Code BGT on all of them. BGT. All right, guys. So we are now 7 minutes into the day. We've mostly had red action here. Mostly red. YouTube's still glitching out. Let me know in chat right now. Are you guys bull or bear? Bull or bear? Funded account fairy? Yeah. How gonna be Mega Hawk?
I'm just gonna stop guessing. I'm always wrong.
Bull or bear in chat right now, guys. Let me know. Bull or bear. Put it in chat right now. I expect to see bulls or bears. going up. I'm gonna put my, that's me right there. Thinking more Easter Bunny. Still bear, bull, bear. All right, guys, we're heading up. I could short 550, but I'd like honestly a stronger bounce higher here. Yeah. We're at 425s right now, 425s. All right, guys. Hey, listen. What do you guys think is going to happen right now? NASDAQ still dropping. Maybe I should have. I swear, there's so many different traders sprouting up on social media. Like, I swear, there's like a nickname for every trader. You know? Like, if I have on green socks, it's like the green sock trader is now on here live. There's saturation, though, for sure. I'm just glad I got involved when I was, like, years ago.
That's a pretty sharp decline.
Look, 425s right now. Crude rising. Yeah, crude's going to be going up when markets go down. That's just kind of the nature of it. WTI crude at 102.30s here, 102.30s. NASDAQ still sitting down here at 420s, 430s, 23, 430s. Again, the NASDAQ is officially in correction territory. About the question before, is Powell going to be dovish? Because he's talking about inflation from last month or more hawkish as a reaction to current inflation projections. I mean, I think he's going to stress risk to the inflation side of it, but we'll see if he says anything about that. To be honest, we'll cover it. We'll stream it. All right, so we are down to 410s, 410s, 400s now. 400 could be a bounce area though. There's 400s. You can see the big node right here. Big. I don't know if it's the. Oh, I think this one's larger. But of this specific node, it definitely is. John, the type of guy that cancels doctor's appointments because he's sick. All right, guys. I am actually that type of guy. NASDAQ bouncing back higher here. We're at 23,400s. Looking weak here. Very red open. That's right, Bruce. You know, Bruce. All right, chat. We are sitting here waiting. NASDAQ is getting weak here. I might short up to 450s where I'm looking at, but even still, I don't know if it's like a good trade. Look at this weakness showing up here, though, man. I'm gonna put this like this up a little bit. Price action a little more. 23,400s might be a rejection level, but it's pretty small rejection. I think it's a little bit maybe greedy here. Still waiting here, guys. Still waiting. What direction do you think we should go, guys? Yeah. everything down on right now. Very strange. All right, guys, 23,400 is rejecting us back down here. Let's see if the bottom low holds it. Oh, we're down a little bit. How we're going to talk? 10:30. Yeah, Powell's been scheduled to talk at 30. All right, guys, so we're at 23,400s right now, 23,004s. We're really not getting any big bounces here. The trend is definitely red since the opening bell. We're starting to get closer to the lows here of this movement here. Some interesting levels is right around 75. Like you can see 75 and how much confirmed support is there right around 75. Here's 75 right here. No, sorry. Here's 75 right here. You can kind of see support in this area right now. So if we do have a bounce level, it could be 75. I don't know, already is. As of now, oil is elevated. It's up almost 3% on the day. So if the oil swings continue, oil's pushing up. WTI crude at 102 right now. Gold sitting at 4,500. I gotta get the up, but if I attack something, I'd attack an EM pullback here. I gotta kind of wait. Yeah, Friday markets are closed. We also have U.S. Secretary of State Rubio saying Iran chooses to close the Strait of Hormuz after the military operation ends. If Iran chooses to close the Strait of Hormuz after the military operation ends, it will have to face dire consequences, according to Al Jazeera. Ready Friday. Yeah, markets are mostly closed Friday. I think futures are open. Some futures are open, but it's not going to be a lot of futures. Equities are closed. Stock market's closed. Is anybody interested in buying right here for the day? All right, here's the NASDAQ 390s here. 390s. Tempted to take a little look. I just took 2 contracts here. A buy, definitely riskier, but I'll add to this. Bounce down back up. Top 3 worst time to buy ever here. Get a liquidity grab at this. We're gonna use 60 as risk right here. And it looks like stopped out. Immediately take half of this bounce, just act a little more. Even if it rebounds, it's not worth it. Could have been worse. Pretty small. I've had 10 days, 8 of days of green. Or if this one ends red, it'll be 3 losing days out of 11. So pretty small. Yeah, I'm going to wait for Powell. Powell speaks live. Okay, now it says we got 46 people watching here, so I think they're actually fixing it. Are they fixing it up? They're starting to get it fixed. Yeah, it looks like they're finally starting to get things back up and running here. Like to me. Starting to get it back. $60 level. Up here. What do you do when you buy the dip and it keeps dipping? Got it. Probably. Guys, the risk tolerance. I'm gonna get out here. We'll wait now. Look at Nvidia still struggling to hold. Here's oil. Oil's still looking really elevated. And I might normally take a position like this, but do what we do. Markets look pretty red here. Get the SP breaking down. Dow fill in the gap. Heading into potentially Powell speaking. Might be making people nervous. Yeah, usually it's better to just go with the trend, but I think with us breaking down as much, we're at the volume weighted average price too. That'll hold enough to take. But the bears are definitely in. We are starting to push down here some too. I want to get Quant Tower up. Maybe I'll watch Quant Tower during trades. But I'm watching breaking news to see if anything happened here. Anything too crazy. Yeah. Again, guys, if you haven't already, check out Lucid. The good part about Lucid here, to be honest here, guys, that Lucid, a great direct-to-funded option. And this is what I'm trading in as a funded account. They've paid out over $60 million to traders. 50,000 plus traders use Lucid. 15-minute average payout time. 4.8 out of 5 Trustpilot rating. Again, you can use their 25K Pro eval. You can get the max discount using coupon code BGT, beginner trading, BGT. It used to be BT, it's now changed to BGT, beginner trading, and all of my coupon codes are all the same, and BGT. You can go direct to funded on Lucid for $238 if you use that coupon code. Let me know what you guys think BGT stands for outside of beginner trading. Let me know in chat right now. But if you want to check out Lucid, a great way to help support the channel. Most day traders lose money. You fund your own account, thousands of dollars, you're probably going to lose. This is something that I'll tell you that most traders don't. They try to act like you should get as many accounts as you can and get rich. Most day traders are going to lose money. Guys, use this to limit your risk. Makes sense. Again, I'm biased. I get paid by them. But it's genuinely useful for traders. Again, check out coupon code BGT for Lucid, Apex, and more at checkout. You'll get the max discount. And yeah, I appreciate the love. Here's the link if you want to check it. You can also use it for Tradeify as well. You can use it for Apex. You can use Make Profit Trader also. So check it out. Here's the link. Great way to help support the channel. All right, so look at the Dow here. I'm still looking at the NASDAQ. We are going a little bit more sideways here, which makes me a little bit more enticed to buy it, but I think that's got me in trouble. All right, we went ahead and took half off. We're honestly pretty much flat on the day too. Go. Kind of whippy here. Jerome Powell speaks in 36 minutes, guys. 36. Ugh. All right, and we're also going to probably do a dedicated Powell stream, I think. No? What do you guys think? Dedicated Powell speech? Buy green trade? Oh my goodness, yeah, we got out of that one. Honestly, we're really not down that much. Okay, we are down. Fact. We're down $100. Whopping $100. Yeah, once they're funded, you do take people live. What's up, Britt?
I was gonna say, are you talking about actually streaming his full speech, or just discussing it, like, from news snippets throughout the speech?
No, we're gonna stream the whole speech, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, as long as it's live, which I believe it is, we're gonna.
Okay.
Yeah, as long as it's fully live, we're gonna. Yeah, so we're gonna do a dedicated Powell stream. NASDAQ's hitting that volume weighted average price here. Let's see what we get today. Again, Jerome Powell does speak live. I mean, I could always change the title. This one, everybody here. Straight to Powell. I think I'm going to dedicate this. All right, guys. So again, Jerome Powell is speaking live. At 10:30 market time. Yeah, so. All right, NASDAQ starting to break down. Yeah. Again, we're under the VWAP now. I don't know what I want to do here, dude. I really don't. I don't know what I want to do here. I think I gotta just be patient and wait for a good setup. I don't think it's an easy setup to really make money in right now. It's super bearish, but I think we're also down a lot. So I just don't think it's easy to make money in this. NASDAQ's out at 23,317s here. Yeah, we're gonna again, guys. So we're gonna finish this stream off at about 10 o'clock or at about 9 o'clock our time, 10 o'clock, and then we're gonna go straight to the Powell speech. No trade zone. We're just down so much here. Again, like I said, let me know in the chat if you think it's a buy or sell. I'm not doing anything right now. I think I just should. And again, we'll see what happens with the Jerome Powell speech. But again, I feel like I should probably wait here. The NASDAQ is starting to fill the gap it made from yesterday. We are starting to fill the gap. All right, so remember, Jerome Powell's speaking for the first time here in a while. This is like his first speech Look, we're still breaking down. Still breaking down. $23,300 is hitting right now. 23,300. Yeah, so he's supposed to speak with moderated discussions, but it's the time I was supposed to. It's really January outside of an FOMC week. So if we have any really any market influence. Yeah, so yeah, we're gonna pivot to that stream now. So we're gonna pivot to the Jerome Powell stream now for right around 10 o'clock. So as soon as we close this stream, it should immediately bring you to the Jerome Powell stream. Catch a falling knife. Yeah, I'm not buying this right now. I just don't trust this. So I have to just kind of be a little bit more careful. But again, Jerome Powell speaks at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll see if it moves markets. I'll see you guys over at that stream right now. So we are going to be pivoting away from this stream and go to the dedicated Jerome Powell stream right now. So again, as soon as we close this stream, it'll bring you to the other one. If it doesn't bring you to the next stream here for Jerome Powell, again, I'll pin this to the top of the chat, and so you guys can see this here. If it doesn't bring you to the next one, here's the link. Right here. If it doesn't bring you to the one, that one, I will pin this to the top of the chat right now, and I'll see you guys over there. So again, as soon as I close the stream, it'll bring you there. And let me make sure the redirect is on. Safe. YouTube has had some glitches today, so just right now. And yeah, I'll see you guys over there. Good luck.